The door frame still remembers the shadow of his shoulder, the last look he gave, fading as the air grew colder.
No note was left, no final word to soften the fall. Just the quiet echo of steps down the hall.
He chose the silence over every single sound, and now the missing pieces are nowhere to be found.
Now the clock ticks heavy through these speculative nights, 1,000 open letters beneath the neon street lights. We stand here waiting for a sign that won't appear, just the ringing silence holding back a year.
He took the promise and he tore it from the thread, leaving empty spaces where the future should have spread. Oh, the unspoken skyline, where the answers disappear. We break on the silence, but the hope is still right here. The rain outside pretends to wash away the memory, but every empty chair speaks loud of what used to be.
He walked toward the horizon and never glanced behind. A ghost of a decision burned into the mind. The weight of that final, quiet, sudden choice is heavy on the heart, suppressing every voice. But the breaking doesn't shatter, it refines the core. We'll stop asking questions of a shore that closed the door. He took the promise and he tore it from the thread, leaving empty spaces where the future died. Oh, the unspoken skyline, where the answers disappear. We break on the silence, but the hope is still right here. Still right here. In the headache,
I watch the street lights flicker slow, like foreign stars that I don't know. I memorize the way you move, a common rhythm I can't prove.
they tell me this blue sphere is mine, but through the glass I search for a sign of kinship in the turning world. My different viewpoints still unfurled.
I crack the code of your routine, step back to see the silent scene.
and sadness when time's up.
Why do you hold your breath and pause, defined by tiny unspoken laws?
It's a bizarre magnetic pull to watch the crowd become whole. We build our castles out of sand and watch them crumble close at hand.
It makes no logical sense at all
to rise just after every fall,
but in that broken, honest grace, I found my shadow, found my place. Oh, from 10,000 feet above the habit, it looks like chaos, but I wanna grab it. We're native aliens under the same sun. This strange routine where feeling starts has just begun. I found the beauty in the ordinary view. This sweet absurdity is me and you.
sweet absurdity. We finally
Trace the rim of your chipped glass now. It holds the dust of what we vowed. The morning light still hits the floor, but the laughter doesn't live here anymore. I'm counting every hairline crack, a calendar I can't turn back.
The air is thick with the unspoken weight, a fragile ship approaching the gate of two horizons, sharp and clean. One keeps the wound, one clears the scene.
Am I the anchor of these ashes, tied to the silence of the crashes? The ghost of your hand still brushes mine, a perfect scar that won't resign. Should I stay chained to the familiar pain, or sail away and lose the guiding star to leave me in silence, to remain estranged?
Trapped where the little things still are. I hear your name in the whisper of the keys, blown across the empty breeze. Every corner holds your shade, a masterpiece our hands have made. To tear the canvas, is that the cost? To gain the peace, but realize all is lost.
This life we built from fragile thread
Sleeps beside me in our bed,
but the constant weight is crushing every breath.
gentle, slow, emotional death.
I'm standing on the razor's edge tonight, waiting for a sign, a single
Tied to the silence of the crashes, the ghost of your hand still brushes mine. A perfect scar that won't resign.
Should I stay chained to the familiar pain, or sail away and lose the guiding star to leave me in silence to remain estranged?
Trapped where the memories still reign.
Coffee still tastes like the morning you left.
There's a keychain here, placed right where you kept it.
I found a shadow in the corner of the room,
A ghost of laughter, chasing back the gloom. They say
time heals, but time just slows down.
every mile between us is a memory I found.
We're standing miles apart, but you're in the air I breathe. Every line drawn on the map is a pattern we weave. It's the hum in the radio, the color of the light, the shape of your absence is holding me tight.
I still look twice when the gravel crunches low.
I'll wait for your hand every place that I go.
I listen close when the front door slams shut, for the familiar rhythm, the feeling of us.
They say time heals, but time just slows down. Every mile between us is a memory I found. We're standing miles apart, but you're in the air I breathe. Every line drawn on the map is a pattern we weave. It's the hum in the radio, the color of the light, the shape of your absence is holding me tight.
Maybe this ache is just the price of loving true, but every single piece of me remembers you.
We build a world from whispers, unbreakable and strong.
I know exactly where we both belong.
We're standing miles apart, but you're in the air I breathe. Every line drawn on the map is a pattern we weave. It's the hum in the radio, the color of the light, the shape of your absence is holding me tight. Holding I trace the line where the horizon breaks. For years I kept the feeling under waves. I thought my silence was a steady hand, but it just built a fortress in the sand.
The air grew thin, the map was slowly torn. When the truth finally on me dawned, I should have spoken when the window called. Instead I watched the curtain of the shadow fall.
Oh, the clock stopped at hello, but the gears forgot to turn. Now I stand 10,000 miles from the globe, watching your chosen highway burn.
We are two ships sailing opposite coasts,
Lost between the silence and the ghosts. My confession is the rainfall on the roof.
too late to offer comfort, too late for proof. I didn't see the light behind your door. I packed my bags and searched for something more. I lay my hope upon a different stone. We all must find a field to seed alone.
This new horizon keeps me steady now, though the memory still makes my branches bow.
My anchors weighed me down beneath the waves. My decision paved the road with golden rays.
We are the echo of the unsaid vow. We cannot go back, but we can see somehow that the distance is the fire we regret to own, but it shows the path we're meant to walk alone. Oh, the clock stopped at hello, but the gears forgot to turn. Now I stand 10,000 miles from the globe, watching your chosen highway burn.
We are two ships sailing opposite coasts,
Lost between the silence and the ghosts.
my confession is the rainfall on the roof.
Too late to offer comfort,
Too late for proof. Distance keeps us breathing. The distance keeps us honest.
the stage is set, the curtains rise on this perfected show.
I practice hard, the casual way, the lines I need to know.
My face is smooth, a painted mask, no wrinkle of distress. They buy the lie, they cheer the act of quiet happiness. They read the sign that says I'm cured, the crisis overcome, but they don't see the heavy price, the waiting pendulum. But if they look deep in my eyes, past the easy light, they'd find the dam I'm holding back against the coming night.
I guard the whisper, silent prayer, the risk I won't release, the fragile core of what I wish, deserving of my peace.
It's the quiet fire buried deep beneath the sand. Tiny anchor of a life, clutched tight inside my hand. I built this wall of being fine, brick by weary brick, just for the sake of that small flame that promised making me sick. I gather dust, I count the cracks where the sunlight used to fall,
And guard the cold, the tiny spark that fights against the wall.
It's just an ember, barely smoke, not even worth the name.
But it's the only honest thing fueling this hidden game.
If I let go, the flood would rush, washing all my structure down. If I confessed a little hope, it might just leave this town. So I will wear this empty grin until the morning comes, protecting what the world can't see until the battle won. It's the quiet fire buried deep beneath the sand.
Tiny anchor of a life, clutched tight inside my heart.
Tiny anchor of a life, clutched tight inside my hand. I built this wall of being fine, brick by weary brick, just for the sake of that small flame that promised making me sick. The quiet fire, still burning deep inside.
Still burning deep inside.
Oh, the anchor of a life. The key still turns the lock, exactly the same. Same worn out welcome mat, I whisper your name.
The clock ticks on the shelf, an unforgiving sound. Same street, same sidewalk, same lonely ground.
I follow every step, retracing where we stood. I open up the blinds like I always should. It's the mandatory piece of a rigid daily track, but the air is thin and cold and nothing filters back. Used to be a harbor, shelter from the pouring rain. Now it's just an address, fueling all the silent pain. Oh, these four walls are standing, but the echoes are deceiving. It's just the blueprint of a life I used to know. I come home every evening to the routine of believing that the silence isn't screaming, you're not here.
I still see a coffee mug beside the sink. I watch the sunlight catch the dust where we would think. Every photograph is frozen, crystal bright, just relics of a warmth that vanished in the night. I walk from room to room, searching for a trace
echoes are deceiving. It's just the blueprint of a life I used to know. I come home every evening to the routine of believing that the silence isn't screaming. You're not here. Still the same key,
Still the same door.
but I'm coming home now, hoping for something more. But dust settles on the photo frame where your life still feels the very same. I trace the lines around your old smile underneath these separate miles. We don't share the key to the door, don't hold hands on the ocean shore. We're nothing to each other now. We keep our separate silent vows. But there's a light that refuses to dim, a strong feeling deep inside my skin. It's the warmth of what we used to be, a perfect hallowed history. The eye ghosts in each other's waking out, no longer bound by fate or power. But every once upon a time we shared the zest and gold, forever cared. It's not about who we are right now, it's about the promises and how that can look at that warmth that we were ever near, keeps the shadow disappear. I still smell the rain on that same street, hear the rhythm of your 2 feet. When the Masalave calls my name, it sets the silent night aflame. We walked away from the flicker of light, but left the past feeling bright. We became strangers in the final scene, but the picture of burnt night stays clean.
Maybe distance is just how we see
The precious relic of you and me.
and memory isn't just a wound.
It is the greatest melody we found. disappear.
Forever cared for,
Forever near. My throat is a desert, lips sealed with ancient wax. The longing burns like a lantern behind these shattered glass. I measure the distance in heartbeats, slower than the moon. Every word I could whisper dies before the noon.
but the fire needs an outlet, though the door is locked tight. So I gather the fragments and send them into the night. This is the echo in the silence, where the truth resides, a hidden scripture written on the ties, the deepest yearning woven into a quiet hymn. 1,000 miles between us, answered only in my prayer. I watch the same star flicker, knowing where you stand. My soul is a vessel floating, waiting for the dry land. The calendar pages turn to dust beneath my head. I feel your shadow reaching across this barren sand.
They say a sound unheard is a message never sent, but I built a cathedral from the wishes I have read.
And every quiet moment is a promise I repeat, until the day the distance finally admits defeat. This is the echo in the silence, where the truth resides, a hidden scripture written on the tides, the deepest yearning woven into a quiet hymn. 1,000 miles between us, answered only in my prayer. Only in my prayer. Only in my prayer.
I used to keep it tucked away, a whisper on my breath, a fragile hollow sound I carried, facing slow death.
It was a ritual the morning, every time I spoke your name. A self-inflicted wound fueling a relentless flame. But the silence that replaced the sound feels like breaking ground.
I watch the ghost of yesterday finally fade away. The anchor holding me to sand had to give way. This is the hour I choose the light inside the storm. I build a stronger structure just to keep me warm. I'm not forgetting, darling, that's not what I did. I just retired the echo, the name that I forbid, because the day I chose myself the memory finally shrunk.
Mirror doesn't show the captive that it knew before. The paper dolls of perfect moments scattered on the floor.
I stopped searching for your silhouette in every passing crowd. The volume on the old tapes finally muted, soft and proud. Now my own voice is the only thing I'm reaching out to hear. It's not a sudden wildfire, but a slow and steady climb, leaving behind the ruins, transcending space and time. I don't need your approval to stand here in the sun. My own 2 feet are strong enough, the lonely race is won.
This is the hour I choose the light inside the storm.
I build a stronger structure just to keep me warm. I'm not forgetting, darling, that's not what I did. I just retired the echo, the name that I forbid, because the day I chose myself, the memory finally shrunk.
Paint is peeling from the rafters high above. This quiet station built on whispers and old love. The clock can barely stirs against the dusted glass, watching ghosts of journeys that have quickly passed.
We stand beneath the awning built to hold the rain, knowing every soul must feel a similar pain. A pause between the chapters, the breath before the leap, secrets that the sleeping city keeps.
They step off the pavement, burdened by the things they hide, with heavy coats that hold the map of where they tried. We barely meet their eyes, a courtesy of space, but we read the destination written on their face.
Oh, the tracks are silver ribbons on the black. Where is the wind that guides them, calling them back? They are the ships on oceans wide and deep, promises that fate is sworn to keep. We watch the currents turn,
And where the restless torches burn, to follow destiny's long curving thread, to find the destination where the hope is fed. She carries a photograph beneath her collarbone, a solitary reason not to face the world alone. He shifts the weight of fear inside his worn out sack, the burden of the choosing, there's no turning back.
this small forgotten platform, it catches every soul. the temporary harbor before they lose control and fly away like ashes on a sudden bitter breeze, leaving only shadows of the maps upon the trees.
We are all just anchors, waiting for the tide, watching the shadows where the futures try to hide. Connected by the rhythm of the wheels that spin, the silent knowing of where we have been.
Knowing the seed of the storm will surely grow, but every single road is where we must go.
Silver ribbons on the black. Where is the wind that guides them, calling them back? They are the ships on oceans wide and deep, promises that fate is sworn to keep.
We watch the currents turn, and where their restless torches burn. To follow destiny's law,
destination where the hope is fed. The ribbons run on, the tracks are silver and strong.
The ribbons run on. The clock hand moves so slow. My boots are worn thin on the platform stone, waiting for a train that's never shown. The track is cold and the signal light is burning low against the gray of night.
And I watch the horizon blur with every hour that I endure. This tired breath, this fragile hold on stories that we never told.
We're standing in the gray of no guarantee, a faded picture of what used to be. My hope is just an ember now, still burning bright somehow. Oh, tell me this is not where the daylight dies, reflected only in these weary eyes, waiting here for a single sound, a promise that can turn this world around.
The coffee cups are cold beside the window pane. I trace the raindrops, feeling only rain. I swear I hear your footsteps in the hall, but it's just the memory that makes me fall.
How long can we stand here unmoving and still, climbing up this empty, lonely hill? But I watch the horizon blur with every hour that we endure.
This tired breath, this fragile hold on stories that we have to be told.
We're standing in the gray of no guarantee, a faded picture of what used to be. Our hope is just an ember now, still burning bright somehow. Oh, tell me this is not where the daylight dies, reflected only in these weary eyes, waiting here for a single sound, a promise that can turn this world around.
The strength inside
This patience is a thread I keep pulling thin.
The hardest part is knowing where to begin, when all we have is the shadow of goodbye.
We're standing in the gray of no guarantee, a faded picture of what used to be. Our hope is just an ember now, still burning bright somehow. Oh, tell me this is not where the daylight dies, reflected only in these weary eyes, waiting here for a single sound, a promise that can turn this world around. Turn this world
In the gray of no guarantee, still waiting.
Used to count the miles between your heart and mine, trying to hold a shade that was never designed, like holding water tight, waiting for the still, fighting every silence just to prove that I was still.
But the weight of wanting broke the fragile dawn. I saw the lesson written where the light had gone.
If love is true, it shouldn't feel like war. I'm learning how to crave it less and simply adore. Loving you became the way to bright sky. The silent surrender reflected in my eyes.
I learned perception is just a fragile lie.
Sometimes you only stand beneath the stars and let them fly. Let them fly. Let them fly. I watched you lift me anchor, that held us to the shore.
And found a different strength in fighting anymore.
We traded fears to mass, oceans open wide, and watched the future come without a place to hide.
This peaceful acceptance, it feels like growing old.
Turning rusted silver into purified gold.
We don't need chains to promise that we can.
We only need the crying knowledge that you're there. Loving you became the way to quiet sky. The silent surrender reflected in my eyes.
I learned possession is just a fragile lie.
Sometimes you only stand beneath the stars and let them fly.
It's not defeat
I used to count the miles between your heart and mine.
I used to count used to count the
I used to count the miles. I used to count the
I often trace the fault lines on an old forgotten map, where we drew the borders of forever.
The echo of your laughter is a whisper in the gap, stretched across the years in changing weather.
And I picture the moment our shadows collide in a crowded room where the air is thick and slow.
Will the thread that was severed still awkwardly ride?
Will the mirror show the change we tried not to know? If the hourglass turns and we meet on the same street, will the chemistry burn or just turn bittersweet? Tell me, did the river that carved out this space leave the feeling intact or change the faces? The current still running beneath the stone, or is the anchor long drop drifting alone?
The years became sculptors, carving different stone. We built hearts that pray houses learn new careful tones.
I wonder if the silence built a wall that's too tall. Will we stand in the sunlight, prepared for the fall?
I picture the question hanging there in the air, the heavy weight of Jika, the possibility. With a glance that we share feels strangely like prayer, or the ghost of a person we used to be. If the hourglass turns and we meet on the same street, will the chemistry burn or just turn bittersweet? Tell me, did the river that carved out this space leave the feeling intact or change the face? Is the current still running beneath the stone?
Of the future, the words left unsaid. If the hourglass turns and we meet on the same street, will the chemistry burn or just turn bittersweet? Tell me, did the river that carved out this space leave the feeling intact or change the face? Is the current still running beneath the storm? Darkness settles, velvet and deep. Another night where promises sleep.
My knees touch the floor, a familiar chord, a story in my heart that never gets old.
I lift up a breath that travels so far to where you might be, hiding like a star.
I know the miles now measure our worth, and every word I speak just settles on the earth.
But still I whisper the name I must not say, hoping somehow the silence leads the way.
Oh, I still send your light through the wire of my prayer, a frequency only God knows how to share. It's a fragile thing, this hope I keep alive, a quiet plea to heaven though you're no longer mine.
Yeah, I write your name in the ink of the unseen,
spaces between the things that have been.
The world keeps moving, I watch from the glass. The ghost of your shadow is slow to pass. You don't hear the cadence of the silence here, the emptiness of rooms that used to hold us near. But sometimes when the stars begin to fall, I wonder if a stray thought catches you at all.
Lord, bend the borders of this lonely space. Show me the merit in this painful grace.
If
if every echo of devotion finds its way?
Can one small mention redefine yesterday? We are oceans apart, but the sky is the same. And I will not surrender the power of the name. Oh, we still send your light through the wire of our prayer, a frequency only God knows how to share. It's a fragile thing, this hope we keep alive, a quiet plea to heaven, though we're no longer mine.
Yeah, we write your name in the ink of the unseen,
In the spaces between the things that have been.
the silence is broken, the prayer is sent. The calendars blur, the seasons rush by. I've seen 1,000 new faces beneath the same sky.
I build new foundations, learn new ways to breathe. But deep in the stillness, there's a current beneath.
I try to lock the door against the fading light,
But your end of turn is a star that burns through the night.
oh, the wax that keeps spinning, the pavement rolls on. They say everything changes before the first dawn, but there's one silent whisper, a number on my soul. It never departed, it just makes me whole.
I see your big anger moving the empty space, an invisible outline I can never erase.
You linger like morning mist, soft and serene,
A secret kept deep where nobody has been.
are the truth that remains on the rock.
We keep you hidden, we let you reside. I am the memory no future could ever divide.
Oh, the wax that keeps spinning, the pavement rolls on. They say everything changes before the first dawn, but there's one silent whisper, a number on my soul. It never departed, it just makes me I build my world around this quiet window pane, watching shadows dance inside the driving rain.
I memorize the curve of every smile you show, a private masterpiece only I will ever know.
This kind of fire burns without a shared light, a silent promise whispered to the fading night.
I found the strength to step away from the center stage and close the chapter on that painful, lonely page.
And I will cheer the joy that you have finally found, even if this love is sacred, hollow ground. I lift my hands and send my prayer across the mile. It's the highest act of loving, the distance of it, love.
The photograph is faded, colors softly bleed, yet every memory planted still becomes a hopeful seed.
I learned to breathe the air when you are miles away, because your shining future brightens up my everyday.
This is not weakness,